In 1973, the then Provincial Commissioner for Nairobi, Mr. John Buru, banned daytime boogie. Now, what is a boogie? Boogie is a dancing session, just like a disco. Now, the difference between boogie and disco, according to me, is just one. That boogie used to be conducted in social halls or social places during the day. And disco used to be the same as boogie, but the only difference between disco and boogie is that boogie used to be conducted during daytime. And disco, even up to today, they still continue being, they start in the evening and end in the morning. Suddenly, for reasons not, maybe he was trying to wield his powers, he banned the daytime boogie. Looking at discos and boogie, especially now that I'm in the mid-60s, I can authoritatively say that boogies are better than discos, even today. If boogie was to be reintroduced today, and I'm told to choose one which has got to be banned, I would rather discos be banned. Why? Boogies used to start late morning, that is between 9 and 10, and by 5, it was over. So as a parent, especially a parent to a girl or girls, you would prefer that your daughter or your child attends the dance during daytime. Nighttime, daytime you can even go. They used to allow even elderly people to enter that place and watch. Maybe that was the reason. You see, at night, no old man goes to watch. And where youth are, boys and girls, the dancing are, yeah. So maybe parents used to watch the way their children would dance, and they didn't want. So it was transferred to disco. I mean, they removed boogie, disco remained. But you see, that type of dancing was not banned. It was only transferred to night where the elderly are maybe asleep. The other thing is, boogie, if your child told you he or she is going to a boogie, you can go to that hall, social hall or social place, and see that there is a boogie, and even make sure that your child is there. But disco, chances of you counter-checking, maybe you can counter-check up to 8 or 9, and once you leave, your child may go elsewhere. If my memory serves me right, I don't remember a boogie where alcohol was served. Actually, those are the days when the original Pepsi Cola was there. And I remember youths used to tie. This thing was also taken up in schools later. Youths would tie their tie here and then let it on the side. And then the disco, the music would be loud and whatever. Even when those two things were going concurrently, I would say that the intake of alcohol in a boogie was, let's say, 10% and taking of soda 90%. But that is why I mentioned the soda Pepsi Cola. But in disco, at the same time, disco, chances of illegal drinks and illegal smoking. And when I talk of smoking, I'm not talking of cigarettes. It was more with the boogie and whatever. And even right now, if there is any celebration or anything, I would rather there be a boogie. But you remember, Kanu days things used to work very funny. Because this is a provincial commissioner in Nairobi whose jurisdiction was just within the capital. But with his pronunciation, Boogie died throughout the country. And Boogie was no different. It was no different from disco. If you ask me, cases of early pregnancies and what such related issues were very few during the Boogie time. If anybody in authority can hear me, an MC, I believe this is something that an MCA can pick. An MCA can pick and introduce in the county assembly of one county, and if that county assembly follows it, then other counties, and it will, like bushfire, it will go throughout the country. I think for those who are young enough, do know that what Boogie is. It used even to have happened in school fields, because you just go to one corner there and then place their public address system, but connect them to a turntable and the music plays loud. For those few remarks, watch for the next steps for Kenya's historical past.